It's Amanda Rome West here, and this is my Palm interview. Woo!
Hey, this one take Quan, you rockin' with Palm, bitch, step in.
What's up? I'm Slater. You're watching Palm.
Connor, what's up, bro?
What's up?
Here we go.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Good to see you.
You too.
Cool,
I
bro.
like your background.
Oh yeah. You know, it's fitting. I forget how I found this shit. I don't even remember. I probably just Googled vaporwave palm trees.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, bro. So for my people tuning in just now, my special guest today is Connor Musarra. Make sure I'm pronouncing that right. Are we good?
You did. Hell yeah. Good job.
Yeah. So rapper and producer, originally from Cleveland, now living here in LA. You dropped out of Berklee College of Music to pursue your dreams, bro. So tell me,
Yes.
take me back from the beginning. What was it like growing up in Cleveland, Ohio? And then how'd you get to college and then say, you know what, I don't really need this school stuff. I can go chase these dreams on my own.
Yeah. Yeah, you did some background. I love it. Yeah, I mean, I come from Cleveland, Ohio, so there is a music scene there for sure, but it's definitely not there's not a whole lot going on. There's just there's a small amount of venues, like not that many people doing shit. So I don't know. I came up in that small scene, and just had a crew of people that I was working with, and I definitely always knew I had to get out. I love Cleveland for life, but I definitely knew I had to get the fuck out of there. And then I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston and studied production there. Started a label, started doing shows, started releasing more music. I mean, I've been releasing music since I was 13 years old, but I started doing it for real, when I was in college.
Right. Okay. So you started making music at 13. I saw that you kind of came up DJing and producing. So tell me, what was it like kind of running around Cleveland, as a kid doing music, or just what was your childhood like?
Yeah. Well, so I actually come from a family that's sort of in the music industry. My brother's a producer too. My dad's a drummer. My uncle is a drummer. And my uncle is still actually an audio engineer. He tours around the world and shit. So I was just always around that and seeing that, and I don't know. It was never even a question whether or not I wanted to be in music. It was just a part of my life forever. I was just always putting shit out on MySpace
Right.
and doing anything I could. It was just fun to me. And then the beginning of high school, I started getting into DJing. I used to teach classes on using turntables. I used to at after school programs and shit. I would teach kids how to DJ and rap and dance and shit, which was fun. But yeah, in high school, I just started DJing, and I was able to play shows through connections that my brother had. Pretty much, I got to finesse stuff. I don't know if you know who Girl Talk is. He was
the mashup producer.
Yeah. So he's a close family friend. He's one of my brother's best friends. So when I was I think when I was literally 14 years old, he put me on a show at Webster Hall in New York City.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's just
big venue, right?
Yeah. It was a huge venue. It actually doesn't exist anymore, but it was a huge venue, super fun. And a really funny move for him to be at that level and just be let's put this 14-year-old on. So throughout high school, I was doing wild shit like that. A lot of it was because of the Girl Talk connection, for real. And then, my senior project actually was going on tour. I organized my own little tour in high school, which was fun, just around the East Coast. So I've been doing shit for a long time. It's just constantly evolving.
Nice. You're a career entertainer. I like that.
Yes.
So around the time you went to, well, first up, let me back up. We have a kind of similarity. I kind of come from a musical family too. My dad was and still is in radio as a program director and a record exec. So it is kind of really,
nice.
especially in this game, to have those family connections.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean it does, but it doesn't always like help you get that job. Like it can definitely get you in position to have that who you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's people only do business with who they know.
Yeah, and for me, I think, I mean, that is obviously a big part of it. It's like who you know and all that shit. But I think more than like, I don't think most of the connections that I got through my family were mostly just like, or most of the things that I got through my family being in music was just like learning how things work and like knowing what not to do and stuff. Like I could kind of at least have an idea of like how shit works, you know?
Right, I feel you. So what led to the Berklee dropout decision?
Well, the main thing is loans.
Yeah, college is expensive.
Yeah, so I kind of reached a point where I had already, it was like, I was there for 2.5 years. So it reached a point where I was like, all right, I've done most of my major. I've gotten like, I've met like all of the people that I've made this network of people that I love working with, and I have gotten out crazy amounts of loans. Like it doesn't really make sense for me to just go through just for this degree when like nobody cares if you have a degree from Berklee. It's just the fact that you went there. So I went to the department chair of my major. I majored in, it was called electronic production and design. I think they changed the name, but it's basically just like production. I went to the chair and I was like, yo, like, I think I got a dip. This is, I think I got what I need. Like I need to just go and really go for it. And he was like, yeah, get out of here, do your thing.
Yeah. So it's kind of like with his blessing, you know, okay, if an administrator here says like I can take the leap of faith, then fuck it, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing that is cool about Berklee is kind of everyone is like that. It's like the first thing they say to you when you get there is basically like, get what you need and get out. Like everybody drops out. Some crazy percent. It's like 60% dropout or some crazy number like that. It's like a crazy number. Yeah, like
a really good homie of mine, he goes by Alta D. He's a producer. He graduated from there. And then I know the band Passion Pit, they met out at Berklee.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Hell yeah. No, Berklee is great. It's it's like a really wild environment. I met so many of like my best friends and so many of the people that I work with now through Berklee.
So back when I was in high school, we had a trip out to Boston and I actually visited their campus. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like embedded in the city of Boston, just like buildings spread out.
So have you gotten a chance to kind of see like the difference between the Boston scene, the Cleveland scene, and the LA scene?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I will say like my time in Boston was so short that I didn't get to go like super deep into the scene, but I definitely had people out there that like showed me, you know, all the cool spots and like the scene. Like especially at that time, I was kind of like in the SoundCloud producer realm, like when SoundCloud was popping. And I honestly, Boston and Cleveland are relatively similar, I feel like, in terms of it's just like a really underdog mentality, which I think leads to really good art, like really good writing. But I do think that it's really limiting. Like there's a lot of opportunities that you're missing out on just because you're not in one of the big cities. I mean, Boston is a big city, obviously, but the music scene is very small.
True.
And honestly, I never even planned on coming to LA. Like I was going to go to New York my brother lives in New York. He's been there forever. I always just assumed that I would be there. I love New York.
Yeah, I
And
kind of
then,
had a similar thing in college where I went to college in Virginia. I was taking trips up to New York like for spring and Thanksgiving break. I always saw myself there, but oops, back home.
yeah. Oh, so you're from here?
Yeah, I'm from LA.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you already knew what it was. Like, I didn't even, like, I'm a dude from Cleveland, Ohio. Like, I don't know shit about LA. Like, it was like, I didn't know how anything works, like, or the lifestyle or anything. So it really just came through a random opportunity. This dude that I had met in Boston actually was from LA. And he was a songwriter. He was signed to, or still is signed to BMG Publishing. And he was basically like, yo, to me and my business partner, homie, that he was like, yo, like, come to LA, just work in my studio, like, fuck New York, come work in the studio. And I was like, bet, like, let's go.
Mhm.
So I had the opportunity to come out to LA and kind of just get a feel for the scene, like get kind of dropped right into it, which was really nice. Like, so my first year here was like a whirlwind of just meeting people and like learning how the scene works and like how everything works, which was really dope. I was lucky, for real.
Tight, that's what's up. So since graduating, I don't know, I mean, my bad, since leaving Berklee and coming out here, you've had the opportunity to like do licensed tracks for Universal Music Group, ESPN, and Grownish. So can you tell me how that stuff happened?
Yeah. So while I was at Berklee, I started or co-founded this record label / publishing company, just like a small company with one of my friends from Berklee, and we basically just had this big library of music. We were just dropping music, and that we kind of just accidentally ended up getting an opportunity because we had a bunch of music. There was a music licensing company in Boston that was like, yo, you guys have a catalog. Like, we don't really have any hip hop in our catalog. You have a bunch of hip hop. Can you just like let us license this? So then, and we're like 19, 20 years old. We're like, yeah, whatever, fuck it, let's do it. And then all of a sudden we realized like, oh shit, this is a real thing. Like we immediately did like, I don't know how many, it was like 11 Dunkin' Donuts campaigns or some shit like that. Like radio campaigns, like all sorts of shit. And it led to like Toyota commercials, like all these commercials. And then we were like, whoa, this is crazy. Like you can really like get the bag in the music industry with this. And so through us making this tiny little company with our homies and then accidentally like learning how all that shit worked, it led to us, you know, focusing more on that. And then fast forward to when the two of us moved to LA, Luke, my business partner, finessed a job at Universal in the publishing department, like in their library. And then he basically just took that shit over. Now he's like a fucking boss over there. And so I now, because we're homies and have been working together forever, like we now work together on a lot of stuff through Universal, through him. And then, yeah, it's just snowballed.
I like it. Okay. So the company you guys had yourselves, is that what Urban Dex is?
So the company was called Alloy X. That was the label. We had a roster of I think it was like 11 artists, small roster. Urban Dex was my old stage name, actually. That was my old rap name and like producer name. So from like age, I think like 15 is when I started using that name all the way until like 23 or something.
Okay, then what made you want to switch to your real name?
I think it was because I had come up with the name Urban Dex at such a young age. It was just like I had changed as a person so much since I made that name, and I had it was just so it just didn't feel like me anymore, if that makes sense. Like it was just kind of I had this SoundCloud following for that name specifically, but it didn't feel like me. I don't know. It was kind of just like a rejection of my, or maybe not a rejection. I just needed to evolve out of that.
Just graduating from the past, but your real name is going to be your real name your whole life. So you might as well rock your real name.
Yeah, and the other thing is I know that it's like I do so many different things in different realms of not even just the music industry. Like I end up, working on films. I do like random comedy shit. Like I do all this shit, and I realize like I definitely want it to all be under my real name. Like it would just make more sense.
No doubt. No, I totally feel that. Speaking of your comedy, so what kind of drew me to you was seeing all the videos. The first one I saw was Crash Test Dummy. And a lot of the ideas are like super creative into the one you just put out, SVU. So like, how does your brainstorming process happen when you come up with all these ideas for shit?
It really just comes off of the fly. Like I write a lot, and I'm just always trying to like keep it interesting for myself. Like I spent years trying to like be a perfect writer, learn how to write perfect pop songs and all this stuff. And then this like past year of this like version of my artist project is just me like not giving a fuck at all. Mm-hmm. So I'm just writing these songs like super quickly, getting the idea out. And then so say like it's all kind of on the fly. It's like I did MySpace, like I recorded that. That was before I even had my own studio out here. Like I recorded that in my closet in my bedroom, and just sort of like was just talking shit, thought it was funny and like fun. And then I was like, yo, it would be tight if I just like did a weird like green screen video where I was like inside a MySpace page, because the song is called MySpace. And then which just seems like a really obvious thing, but then that snowballs into what it was, just because I do a lot of like scoring and sound design for films that my friends work on who aren't in the music industry, like people who are like filmmakers and all that. So through working with them all the time, that evolved into them helping me with my crazy fucking ideas. So then I could go to them and be like, yo, I want to be a crash test dummy. Can we get a makeup artist? So then like I hired an actual like movie makeup artist to turn me into the fucking crash test dummy, and like we got the green screen set up and all that. It's all super DIY. Like all of these videos like are every single time I'm like, there's no way this is gonna work. There's no way we're gonna pull this off, and then somehow we do.
And you kind of yourself, right?
I edit the music videos are edited by my friend Ernie Long, who's an amazing VFX guy and director. But all of the other content on my channels is me. Like all the random videos and the like memes and all of that shit is me.
Got it. Okay, I like it. So what rappers were you like looking up to growing up and like made you want to spit, and then now is kind of like on your streaming rotation?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I was listening to a lot of like the Clips growing up, like a lot of Missy Elliott, a lot of anything the Neptunes touched, anything Timbaland touched, like fucking those are like really what made me be like, damn, I need to do this. But in particular, I think the Clips, like Hell Hath No Fury album is like how I learned how to rap. Like that album is like everything to me.
I remember when I was researching you, I don't know if it was the Voyage LA article or another one, but they said something about like what did they say, Pusha T with a
Pusha T, yeah, going through an existential crisis.
Yeah, Pusha T going through an existential crisis.
Yeah, that's like that pretty much sums me up. Like,
okay.
Yeah.